Time we're ready. So, I call this July 30th, 2026 public hearing of the Ogle County Zoning Board of Appeals to order at 6 p.m. Mr. Miller, please call the roll.
Bolthouse.
Here.
Basco's not here. Sulzer.
Yes.
Irish.
Here.
Hodkin.
Here.
Four present.
We have four members present. There is a quorum. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The verbatim transcript serving as minutes of the last meeting is on file and will not be read at this time. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the last ZBA meeting.
I move.
Mr. Bolthouse moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Sulzer seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. All testimony will be taken under oath. After your petition has been read, you will be called forward to the podium to testify and state your name and address to the recording secretary. Please spell your last name. When testifying, please speak clearly and loudly enough to be heard. This hearing is the only opportunity to place testimony and evidence on the record. There will not be another opportunity beyond tonight's hearing to submit additional evidence or testimony for consideration. Please turn off or silence all electronic devices. The procedures on hearings that will be followed tonight is as found in the ZBA Rules of Procedures or Citizens Guide to the Zoning Board of Appeals, which are available on the desk near the entrance to this room. The hearing will proceed as follows. Mr. Miller will read the staff report. The petitioner will describe the petition and answer questions from the board. Anyone who's filed for an appearance will be allowed to question the petitioner. Objectors will make their presentation, if so desired, and answer questions from the board. Those who wish to speak for or against the petition will be given an opportunity to be heard. The public portion of the hearing will be closed. The board will then deliberate and vote on the petition, followed by public comment. If anyone has trouble hearing, please let us know. After your petition has been voted on, you are free to leave. However, you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting if you so desire. Mr. Miller, what is the first order of business?
First order of business is to consider the request filed June 11th, 2026 of Shane Nielsen, 110 North 7th Street, Oregon, Illinois, for an amendment to the zoning district to rezone from Ag 1 Agricultural District to R1 Rural Residence District on the property described as follows. Part of the southeast quarter of Section 5, Marion Township, 24 North, Range 11, east of the 4th PM, 4.89 acres or less. Common location is the 6,000 block of North Maryland Road. For the record, a sign was posted along the frontage of the premises indicating that the zoning hearing is to be held regarding the property. All adjoining owners have been notified of the hearing this evening and the specifics of the petition. And a legal notice was published in the July 1st, 2026 edition of the Ogle County Life, notifying the public of the hearing this evening and the specifics of the petition. Under the staff report, copy which the member should have. Purpose is to rezone from Ag 1 Agricultural to R1 Rural Residential to allow the construction of one single-family dwelling. The size of the site is 4.89 acres, which I directed down to zoning history. As the parcel was granted a 10% administrative lot size variation, which would be less than 5 acres. The existing land use is vacant. Surrounding land use and zoning, the site is located in a rural residential area. Land to the north is zoned Ag 1 and is in residential use. Land to the east is zoned R1 rural residential and it's in agricultural use. Land to the south and west is zoned Ag1 and in agricultural use. Comprehensive plan, the parcel on which the map amendment is being applied for is located within 1.5 miles of the incorporated municipality of the city of Byron. The Greater Byron Comprehensive Plan designates the site for agricultural/open space use. Transportation, North Merrill Road is a local township road. Physical characteristics relative to the 4.9 acre map amendment area. The site is located in an area of relatively sloping terrain and mature trees. There are no areas of wetland or floodplain areas present on the site. According to the Ogle County Digital Soil Survey, soil types on the site are 80.8% 243C2 St. Charles silt loam, 17.9% 414B Myrtle silt loam, and 1.1% 470 C2 Martinsville silt loam. Under the LISA score of 151.7 indicates a low rating for protection. The land evaluation portion being 75.7 and the site assessment being 76. At the July 23rd, 2026 meeting of the Regional Planning Commission, Mr. Probasco made a motion to approve number 4-26 amend for Shane Nielsen. As no farmland is being taken out of production, the low LISA score, and if it's the comprehensive plan, as well as other houses being in the area. Seconded by Mr. Rising, motion to approve carried via voice vote 6-0. And that is all I have, Mr. Chair.
All right. Would the petitioner please step forward to the podium? Would all persons who wish to speak in regard to this petition please stand? Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that as you testify, you'll tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name and address for the recorder.
My name is Shane Nielsen. Nielsen, Nielsen. Current address is 110 North 7th Street, Oregon, Illinois, 61061.
And tell us why you're asking to rezone this parcel from Ag1 agricultural to R1 rural residential.
I would like to build a house, a home for our family. Just recently got engaged and I have 3 kids now. And we've had the property, my mother owned the property for quite some time and always kind of planned to build a house there. And now we're in the ability to do so, hopefully.
And do you own the parcel on the other side of the railroad tracks as well? Was that originally a rectangular parcel?
It was originally, yes. I do not. My mother currently just sold it to my sister-in-law.
Okay, so you own the southern triangle.
Correct.
Okay. In the Soil and Water Conservation Report, it states that an erosion and sediment control plan needs to be developed, implemented, and maintained prior to and during all construction phases. Have you done that?
We haven't really done any construction really yet. The only thing that we've done is start to put a driveway or an entrance onto the property. But as far as all of our plans for building in the future, I don't want to mess with any of the water runways or any of that for the runoffs on the fields. I'd like to keep the land as pristine as possible and only remove any trees that need to be removed. Otherwise, I'd like to keep it pretty much the way it is, you know.
Okay.
So if that includes having to put settlement bonds or anything, whatever's recommended is what we will do.
When I inspected the site, I did drive up their driveway and just turned around up in there. Is that approximately the area where the house will be built then?
It'll be pretty close, yes. It'll be just a little more south. You know, there's not much more, but I do want to, it'll be in that approximate area, but I do need to take a little more trees out so I can have the tolerance of a backyard and front yard area.
And have you investigated the possibilities for septic system there?
I have not, we have a meeting that we gotta go down and see next to Mark Miller there about talking about doing a septic, and then as far as the sewer, that was the next step on the list. We kind of want to see what was gonna happen.
Okay.
Kind of here.
And you'll of course drill a well there then too.
Yeah.
In regards to your driveway, that was pretty unique. It's pretty steep on the sides there. Will you slope that off eventually?
Yes, it's actually not as wide as we need it to be for what Marion Township said for an entrance and culvert size and all that, so it actually needs to be widened. But then, yes, I plan to slough the sides off on like a 45, something like that, so it can still have the natural erosion and water runoff, so it's not carving. And like you said, it's a little steep. So,
Well, a work in progress.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, any questions from the board? No questions or comments from the board? Has anyone filed for an appearance?
No, Mr. Chairman.
All right, you may be seated.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone who wishes to speak against this petition? Hearing no other questions or comments from the board, we're about to close the public portion of this hearing in regard to this petition, after which there will be no further testimony or evidence presented. At this time, I will entertain a motion to close the public portion of this hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Parrish moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Salzer seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. The public portion of this hearing in regard to this petition is now closed. If there are no further questions or comments from the board, we will go through findings of fact. The decision made at this hearing will be based on the 6 zoning standards. For each standard, we have 2 prepared statements, one statement to approve this petition and one statement to deny this petition. For each standard, a board member will read either the statement to approve or the statement to deny, whichever he believes is most applicable in this situation. The board members will either agree or disagree. All 6 standards must be approved in order to approve this petition. If a board member wishes to discuss the standard before voting, please indicate so. Mr. Miller, please read the first standard.
Number 1, that the proposed amendment will allow development that is compatible with existing uses and zoning of nearby property.
The site is currently zoned Ag 1 Agricultural District, and zoning the parcel R1 Rural Residence District will ensure that the use of the site remains compatible with the existing residential and agricultural uses of nearby parcels and follows the general trend of development in the area. I believe the standard's been met.
I agree.
I'll agree. Number 2, that the County of Vogel and other service providers will be able to provide adequate public facilities and services to the property, including but not necessarily limited to schools, police and fire protection, roads and highways, water supply and sewage disposal, while maintaining adequate public facilities and levels of service to existing development.
Due to the low density of the proposed development, Oval and other service providers will be able to provide adequate service to the property. Standard met.
I agree.
I'll agree. Number 3, that the proposed amendment will not result in significant adverse impacts on other property in the vicinity of the subject site or on the environment, including air, noise, stormwater management, wildlife, and natural resources.
No adverse impacts on other property in the vicinity of the subject site or on the environment, including air, noise, storm water management, wildlife, and natural resources, are adequate from rezoning of the site. Standard met.
I agree.
That the subject site is suitable for the proposed zoning classification.
The proposed site meets the lot area and lot width of the R1 rural residential district. I think the standard's been met.
I agree.
Agree. That the proposed zoning classification is consistent with the trend of development, if any, in the general area of the subject property, including changes, if any, which have taken place since the day the property in question was placed in its present zoning classification.
Rezoning to the R1 residence district is consistent with the agricultural and residential uses surrounding the site and follows the trend of increased single-family dwellings in the area. Standard met.
I agree.
I agree.
Number 6, that the proposed amendment is consistent with the public interest and not solely for the interest of the applicant, giving due consideration to the stated purpose and intent of the mandatory zoning ordinance as set forth in Division 1 therein, the land evaluation and site assessment findings, and the recommendation of the Ogle County Regional Planning Commission with respect to the Ogle County Amendatory Comprehensive Plan.
The proposed amendment is consistent with the public interest and the proposal intent of mandatory zoning ordinance. The Zoning Board of Appeals has given due consideration that the Regional Planning Commission has recommended approval. Standard met.
I agree.
I'll agree. In addition to the standards contained herein, the Illinois courts have established additional factors, i.e. the LaSalle factors, that should be given consideration in all amendment cases. Has the board considered the LaSalle factors?
Yes. All the standards have been met. I will entertain a motion to approve this petition.
I would move that we approve make the recommendation to approve the request for map amendment number 04-26.
And then all the standards.
All the standards have been met. Can't find the last paragraph.
Refer to the self factors.
LaSalle factors, thank you very much.
All right. Motion to approve this petition has been made by Mr. Yurish. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Bolthouse seconds. Does the board have any other questions or comments? If not, Mr. Miller, please call the roll.
Bolthouse,
Yes.
Sulzer,
Yes.
Irish,
Yes.
Ogden,
Yes.
4 yes.
This petition has been approved by a vote of 4-0. This petition will go to the Assessment Planning and Zoning Committee. Do you have the date on that?
I believe it's the 12th of August. Maybe it's earlier.
August 11th. Is it Tuesday?
Tuesday, the 11th, yes.
Okay, and the county board then on the 18th. This petition will go to the Assessment Planning and Zoning Committee on Tuesday, August 11th at 10 a.m. in this room, and to the county board on Tuesday, August 18th at 5:30 p.m. in this room. It is not necessary for you to be present at those meetings, but you're welcome to do so if you wish. Mr. Miller, what's the next order of business?
Next order of business is to consider the petition filed June 23rd, 2026 of Mary and Todd Henderson, 7988 East Husky Peg Road, Jena, Illinois, for a variation in the A1 agricultural district to allow a barn to be constructed 23 feet from the right-of-way of East Husky Peg Road in lieu of 40 feet as required by the Ogle County amendatory zoning ordinance. On property described as follows and owned by the petition, part of the southwest quarter of section 25, Pine Rock Township, 23 North, Range 11 East of the 4th PM, 6.08 acres more or less, and the common location being 7988 East Road. For the record, adjoining owners have been notified of the hearing this evening and the specifics of the petition. The legal notice was published in the July 1st, 2026 edition of the Ogle County Life, notifying the public of the hearing this evening and the specifics of the petition. Under the staff report, a copy of which the members should have, the purpose is to allow the construction of the hay barn to be constructed 23 feet from the right-of-way of East Husky Peg Road and below 40 feet as required by the Ogle County amendatory zoning ordinance. Existing land use as a residence, surrounding land use and zoning. The site is located within an agricultural area. All land surrounding the proposed use is in agricultural use and is zoned Ag1. Comprehensive plan, the parcel which the variation is being applied for is not located within a mile and a half of an incorporated municipality. Ogle County Inventory Comprehensive Plan designates the site and surrounding area for agricultural and agriculturally related open space uses. That was a misprint on the staff report. No zoning history. Transportation, East Husky Peg Road is a township maintained road functionally classified as a local road. Physical characteristics of the site is relatively flat terrain. There are no mapped wetlands or floodplain areas present on the site. The parcel is unusually long and narrow. And that is all I have, Mr. Chair.
No, there's no report from the township.
No.
The petitioner, please step forward to the podium. Would all persons who wish to speak in regard to this petition, please stand. Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear that as you testify, you tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, if so say it. I will. Thank you. Please state your name and address to the recording secretary.
Todd Henderson, 7988 East Husky Peg Road, Jena.
Mary Henderson, HenderSon, 7988 East Husky Peg Road, Jena.
Thank you. And tell us why you're requesting variance to construct this barn 23 feet from the right of way instead of the required 40.
Pictures. What happens is the parcel being so long and thin, it's hard to.
Exhibit A.
If we move it back to the allotted distance, it ends up pushing into other parts of the property. It's like kind of like putting right in the middle of the property. The property is only about 200 feet wide, it's 1,400 feet long. So any place you do that, there's between right of way and setback, it's about 2 acres of property that becomes unknown. In order for us barn we want to put it together has, so we pull the hay wagons through, or is the point where we can't keep unloading them all the time, and stuff them into a farm crib. Saturday is a perfect, we've had a hay wagon start raining. We designed the barn to have two 14-foot doors, so we can pull through and allow us to try to back them up. If we move it back to the center of the property, we have problems with it being in the way of the unholding pen we use, training pen we use for the horses, and be able to get out the gate. Allow that flow of the speed of that out there. You know, if you look at the, like the blue line where the hay route would be, the one where the barn is, and so you can't just drive through. It also pushes that, barn and code right against the training facility, the holding pen for horses. It's only about 8 feet wide, with the neighbors pass, bale hay out there and everything else, his equipment out through there, it gets really tight and everything else. So I just moving it a little bit forward, gives us that flexibility.
And what would be your reason for not just switching positions for your proposed hay barn and your training pen back there?
The training pen has 22 posts in concrete, 6 inches of sand.
Oh, so that's already
That's
established?
already established,
Oh,
that's already
okay.
clear.
Oh, okay.
There's actually a training pen there to the front that we're gonna take out.
I
So
see.
we have taken out, just trying to set this up. So we need to use the back one, because then if you're trying to come in, you put the horses there, without having to worry about somebody coming and going, allows you to put the horses to one side instead of taking them all the way there to another one. So if you look at the lines, kind of how everything traverses through, if you move the barn forward, we can get the hay wagons moving back out again. The equipment are coming in to go to the field, can go through there and go out to the field, and the horses kind of traverse, and they can actually go all the way behind the house, the horse barn, back out.
So-
make this little alleyway, it's just gonna get mush.
Yes. So when you're pulling your wagons into your proposed barn, they're gonna be going through in a north-south route, is that right?
Yeah,
So you pull them in one side, unload
yeah,
them?
the barn, I believe, is designed to be 48 feet long, because 2 hay wagons together is 44 feet. Stacked in there. A pickup truck and hay wagon is 43 feet. The barn's only gonna be 30 feet wide to allow us to pull in and unload if we need to. We did put a 15-foot lean-to on the east side to allow animals place to go.
Okay. Questions or comments from the board?
Yeah,
Mr. Bullock?
what's in that dirt lot that's right?
The dirt lot, we looked at putting it there, we actually put hay out and on the ground there, so they actually feed through there. We don't like them feeding on the sand area, but they're in it, stuck it for the horses. 2, if we put a barn back in there, the driveway that we have to put in, to go across the dirt lot, get to it in the winter time would be crazy, and that drive's not good for the horses. If we put the barn where we want to put it, we put the drives in front, and then we could access that barn in the winter time, we pay out, to take it over to the horse barn, that's on the other side of the house. So we've been looking at this for about 2 years, with sheds and, shipping containers, and the sheds you bring in on the back of the semi, and all sorts of things, and kind of figuring out what went where and what worked best. And so we kind of came down to, this is the best spot to allow us access in the wintertime, to get hay out of the barn, bring it to the horses. So the dirt lot in the wintertime is, basically, that's what the major roads are there.
So this facility will be a hay storage area. Will there be horses?
So probably be allowed in the running area, it's kind of out of the way.
Yeah.
Since we have all the gates and everything, they can wander out that way, give them more room. Some of the holding area, all that kind of stuff, the training facility is, we tend to use that too, so the horses will be out that way, and then they'll ride the inside of that, and also the outside of that is the horses get, a couple of horses that we're kind of training right now,
So do you board horses?
just ours,
They're just your, how many horses do you have?
just 2.
Okay. Okay. And you plan to put in a new culvert?
We've already got permission from the township, and Jeff checked it out, and we actually put the culvert in as access to it, even if we, hopefully the barn would go through, and we can go ahead. The advantage also of moving the barn forward a little bit allows us to put a gate on the southeast corner and the northeast corner, so that's blocked off, so if you come and go into the barn, you don't have to drive the horses all the time in the building there.
You can see that on this page.
Yeah, you can see on the last page, it shows like proposed gates.
Yes.
If we move it back, then it's a whole new fencing system,
And so I'm assuming then, you've talked to the township about this?
yes.
And they've raised no objections to you
They
about?
raised no objections, we talked, he lives right around the corner from me, gave us the size of pipe we needed, the length and everything else, put in exactly what he specified.
Okay,
It's not a very, it's not a very big road. I don't think there's much traffic on it. I mean, it's not, it's kind of back in the.
yeah,
We're at the end of Husky Bank, it turns and becomes Bend.
Yeah.
okay,
So, and building in our area, we've been there since 2003, they built 4 houses and 6 other barns in that area,
Mhm.
on those roads.
How much, problem you had with snow with the road?
They did a pretty good job with the road. They did better when the kids on the corner were at the school or the county clerk was around the corner. So, but yeah, they do a really nice job with the road getting in and out because I go to work.
Sometimes when you get a building that close to the road, that's where the snow piles up. I just was wondering,
We actually don't have any, I have an old corn crib on the inside of the house that's actually only 20 feet off the right of way because it's been there for 60 years. And we don't actually have problems with snow there.
okay,
And I could just point out one other thing.
sure,
If you look at the last page, all of those lines are like the flow of traffic and how much more convenient with the barn in a more forward position it is. But, I would like to get our pasture tilled, and I would need to have someone do that for me, and they would have to come in with some bigger equipment through this traffic flow in between where the barn is and the sand holding facility.
mhm,
So it would be nice if we could have that bigger alley so that bigger equipment could get out to the pasture. Perhaps even bale the pasture if we needed to.
This, the neighbor has built before for his
and
gas.
your
Yeah.
pasture is on to the east beyond?
That's
Yes.
correct, that's
Yeah,
correct.
the pasture is about 4 acres of the property.
Okay, sure,
So, otherwise, there really is no alley for that. There's not enough space for the equipment to get through there.
Was there where your proposed building site is, was that a training pen at one time?
That was a grass training pen.
Okay,
Yeah, that was easier to get rid of.
That was the smaller one, the sand one, except we took it, it's sand and it's everything's concrete, and it's one we like to use the horses we have trained up, so we have little grandmothers as well.
sure, okay. Any other questions or comments from the board?
I'm curious what you do with the horses. Do you participate in equestrian events or isn't her riding or what do you do with them?
Just for fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah, it's just for fun. We did shows in the past, and neither one of us, the horses or us, enjoyed it. It was just too, it just wasn't any fun for either one of us. We just like to have fun.
We just play games with them.
Yeah.
We had probably 20 barrels, and of course I had before this one, I could race barrels without reins. In and out and all that kind of stuff, so
Yeah.
just kind of goof off.
Just for fun.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, has everyone felt for appearance?
Mr. Chairman?
All right, you may be seated, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here who wishes to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone here who wishes to speak against this petition? Please come forward. Please state your name and address for the record.
Hello, Tim Kortz, Kortz, 8378 East Husky Lake Road, Chan 61015. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to speak. I appreciate the notification of the meeting. I don't want to be labeled as an adversary. I came here mainly just for my own education. The one first question I had was the rationale behind the 40-foot setback ordinance. I'm guessing it's mainly for safety and or aesthetics. I would say from our point of view, you know, we don't like to see safety compromised. In terms of aesthetics, that's not an issue for us at all because of the way the farm fields are and the tree lines, it wouldn't affect us at all. I'm sorry, I should have stated that we're adjacent landowners to the folks who put in, the Hendersons who put in the petition.
And are you to the east or the west of this parcel?
Well, we pretty much, our land circles them on three sides. The west, the north is all farmland, and also
All the way around.
also to the east.
Okay.
Some trees and lane and stuff like that.
Okay.
I guess the one issue the one question that I had is, you know, I'm hoping this is not going to be a commercial venture. If it were a commercial venture, you know, I wouldn't be real pleased about lots of trucks and horse trailers parked along the road, you know, every weekend or whatever. If this is strictly for their personal use, then we have no problems with that at all. So, that's all I've got unless you have any questions.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead and state your comments for the public.
If they do want to do commercial, they have to come back and get a special permit
Okay.
to get that. But if it's just doing for themselves, like you said.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yeah, that would be a separate issue if they
Yeah.
wanted to do something more commercial.
Thank you.
All right, if there are no other questions or comments from the board, we're about to close the public portion of this hearing in regard to this petition, after which there will be no further testimony or evidence presented. At this time, I will entertain a motion to close the public portion of this hearing.
So moved.
Mr. Sulzer moves, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Yurish seconds, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. The public portion of this hearing is now closed in regard to this petition. If there are no other questions or comments from the board will now go through the finding of fact in regard to the 6 zoning standards. Mr. Miller, please read the first standard.
Number 1, the particular physical surroundings, shape, or topographical condition of the specific property involved would result in a particular hardship upon the owner as distinguished from a mere inconvenience if the strict letter of the regulations were carried out.
The unique size, shallow depth, and shape result in a hardship upon the owner in constructing a barn in a suitable location that maintains the 40-foot required front yard. I think the standard's been met.
I agree.
Okay. Number 2, the conditions upon which the petition for a variation are based are unique and would not be applicable generally to other property within the same zoning classification.
The conditions upon which the petition for a variation are based on are unique and are not applicable generally to other property within the Ag 1 zoning district. Standard met.
I agree.
I'll agree. Number 3, the purpose of the variation is not based exclusively upon a desire to obtain a higher financial return on the property.
Evidence indicates that the purpose of the variation is not based exclusively upon a desire to obtain higher financial return on the property, but rather to write a barn for the owners of the property. Standard met.
I agree.
I'll agree. Number 4, the alleged difficulty or hardship has not been created by any person presently having an interest in the property.
Evidence indicates that the alleged difficulty or hardship has not been created by the petitioner. I believe the standard's been met.
I agree.
Number 5, the granting of the variation will not be materially detrimental to the public welfare or injurious to other property or improvements in the neighborhood in which the property is located.
No evidence has been submitted that would indicate the granting of the variation will be material detrimental to the public welfare or injurious to other property or improvements in the neighborhood in which the property is located. Standard met.
I agree.
Okay. And number 6, the proposed variation will not impair an adequate supply of light and air to adjoining property or substantially increase the congestion in the public streets or increase the danger of fire or endanger the public safety or substantially diminish or impair property values within the neighborhood.
The variation will not impair an adequate supply of light and air to adjacent property or substantially increase congestion in the public streets or increase the danger of fire or endanger the public safety or substantially diminish or impair property value within the neighborhood. Standard met.
I agree.
I agree.
Okay.
All of the standards have been met. I will entertain a motion to approve this petition.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve variation 0126 in light that all of the standards have been met.
This is variation 4-26.
Should be 1-26.
Oh.
Oh, I have another.
Okay.
Look at that.
Okay.
The staff report.
Okay, it's variation 1- you were correct, 1-26. Okay,
I'll second Mr. Seltzer's motion there.
okay. Motion to approve this petition is made by Mr. Salzer and seconded by Mr. Yurish. Does the board have any other questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Miller, please call the roll.
Bolthouse.
Yeah.
Seltzer.
Yes.
Girish.
Yes.
And
Yes.
4 yes.
This petition has been approved by a vote of 4-0. This petition will go to the county board on,
It's not more than 50%.
oh, so it doesn't even go to the county board. Okay,
That is-
this petition goes no further, it's been approved.
Thank you.
When did that start?
Late 2024, if there's more, if a variation is asking for more than 50% of what's required, for instance, for a 40-foot setback, if the variation's for less than 20 feet, it would have to go to county board for a final decision.
Okay.
Oh, okay, all right, very good.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Muller, what's the next order of business?
Public comment.
And
No other business.
okay. Now looking for public comment, if anyone wishes to speak. Hearing none, are we going to adjourn the meeting and then look at the laptops?
Yes.
Okay. I call this meeting adjourned at 6:44 p.m.
Boom, boom.